how to prepare for the civil services topics. How this preparation is different from preparing a topic for our conventional degree or postgraduate examination. How I devised on my own a small method of preparing for various topics for this prestigious examination. This is a trial and error method devised over a period of time which helped me. I hope the same method may help you if you adopt or fine tune with additions or deletions, up to you. What is that method which I have devised? Let us look at that. How is that preparing a topic is different from looking at the method of preparing a particular topic? Remember one thing, you have to look at how your old habit of preparing topics, conventional way of preparing the topics, help or doesn't help when it comes to the civil services examination. We are grappled with our old habits of learning, which are ingrained in us from our class 6th up to the post graduation, even research also. What are those old habits? By hearting is ratta, everybody knows about it. We mug up the information. Next, it is basically our approach is memory based approach. The more the number of topics we remember and reproduce in the examination, we get more marks. And the third important old habit, which is we are never encouraged to apply logic and reason, is called application portion. We never encourage to apply the theoretical knowledge to a real life situation. What is in civil services parlance called the current affairs. Every current affair has to have a factual information and logically related, and there has to be a reason behind that particular happening. It was rarely or seldom encouraged in us while preparing for the conventional examinations. And mind you, you are expected to write verbatim from the textbooks or the written notes in the conventional examination system. That's why memory is important for that old the university examination preparation. And never encouraged the precise in a brief and just manner. Now, whether these old habits are helpful to us in preparing for the civil services examination, let us look at the UPSC expected way of preparing at the topics. This is what I have done. UPSC requires us to revisit our habit of learning, especially on these following points. Are you exact and precise in defining important words in the question? Is the first thing. These important words called the critical words. I take an example here. This is the question I borrowed from the 2020 mains examination for 250 words and 15 marks. Is diversity and pluralism in India under threat due to globalization? Justify your answer. So what are the critical words here? The critical words are simple. Here, justify. For me, what is the meaning of the justify? He says that in the question he asks, what is justification? You have to have the reasonable explanation of your conclusions or the inferences drawn. Here, what it says, diversity. Do you know the dictionary meaning of the diversity? Diversity of different cultural groups living together in a geographical area with mutual understanding. The pluralism means each one has his own languages, his own customs, his own traditions in the society. That pluralism, the diversity and the pluralism, where they get affected by the globalization. Then what is meant by globalization? The definition of the globalization is basically the intertwining interdependence of economy, culture, population across the cross borders of various societies, various states, various nations, through the infusion of technology, digital technology, services, the movement of the people, the movement of the resources, investment flow. That is called the globalization. how whether the globalization has impacted our diversity and pluralism. You have to give cogent reasons justifying your answer. Yes, globalization has impacted. How? Not impacted. How? That is the approach where what I call it precise and exact knowing the meaning is very important while preparing for this UPSC topics. We'll take one more example for driving home the point. Here there are some the factual information and analysis. We are in the habit of remembering, we are trying a habit of memorizing both factual information and analysis done by someone else, like editorials. But what is your analysis, in your opinion, in your view, the inferences drawn? Take another example here to drive home the point. Here is what is the status of the forest resources in India, and whether this forest resources has impact on the climate change. So here the UPSC expects us to be very precise about the forest resources available across various states, the forest cover available, and suppose if the forest cover is increased, whether it has a positive impact on the climate change. What is a climate change? The greenhouse gases emissions and absorption of the carbon dioxide by the cover. This is basically climate change, the increasing the temperature of the atmospheric because of the greenhouse gases. This is the basic information about the climate change. Whether is there any positive correlation between the forest resources, forest cover and the climate change, or there is no such relationship. So that is what the analysis, your analysis, mark here 250 words. You can't go beyond 250 words. That means roughly around 8 to 10 paragraphs. I repeat again, the status of the forest resource is the factual information. The percentage of each state has the forest cover depending upon the agroclimatic conditions, and the analysis portion is whether the impact, the relationship between the forest cover, the forest resources and the forest cover on the climate change, the analysis portion. Always remember, you have to have the factual information as the basis for arriving at a logically and cogent, concise conclusion or inference. That's what we call the assertion and the reason type of approach here. Next is always link whatever you read, whatever you prepared the information about a particular topic, link it up to a real life situation. That is what called the current happenings. Now make it a habit to write in your own words. Your answer shall begin with the factual information, followed by the logic and the reason and the conclusion and the inference. Now you have to stick to the word limit, whether it is 150 words or 250 words. Another example for conceptual clarity. We all know very well that the UPSC has introduced the aptitude test, civil services aptitude test. What is the clarity? What is the definition of aptitude, and how aptitude is different from attitude? Be careful. Are you clear about what comprises aptitude? How it is different from attitude? I copied a very good comparative table between aptitude and attitude. Here it goes. The aptitude is basically which is the innate talent, the quality which you are born with, or perhaps maybe it is there, the original talent in you, the original capacity in you. Why? Because this capacity is required for imparting training to you after getting into the service. So aptitude is basically innate talent which more or less born with, whereas attitude is acquired conduct based on our habits, our belief system, our family background, our traditions and our customs. Here is the comparative table between aptitude and attitude. It's a theoretical in nature. You please have a look at this, and it's for your own information. Aptitude is closely related to the ability of a person, basically the innate ability of a person. It is innate characteristic. Basically, it doesn't change with time, and it reflects the competency, the analytical competency, the observation competency, the comprehending competency. Whereas attitude is basically the beliefs we acquired from our traditional customs, the emotions and resultant ideas which we inculcate is attitude. Attitude is basically our personality and the behavior. It's basically as a result of experiences. This is basically the aptitude versus attitude difference. So civil services has the aptitude test rather than attitude test. Aptitude test is basically whether you have the comprehending ability, understanding ability, modifying your old habits of learning to suit to the UPSC preparation.